Stop what you are doing right now. Do not scroll past this video. Look at me in this very moment. You did not arrive here by simple accident. I have placed this vital message directly in your path today because your entire future is hanging in a delicate balance. Give me 2 minutes of your undivided attention. What I am about to reveal will not let you return to the empty noise. My beloved child, do not reject this message today. Your spirit has been searching for real answers. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your soul to this exact digital intersection. You did not stumble across this message in a vast sea of endless modern distractions. I guided your hand with absolute precision, and I guided your spirit to find these specific words at this perfect moment. Something major just shifted in the unseen realm. A massive door is trembling at my supreme command. Your long waiting season is finally closing right now, but you must listen closely to the urgent warnings I am releasing to protect your path. If you rush past this quiet moment, you will completely miss the magnificent breakthrough that I have carefully prepared for your destiny. Come much closer, my chosen child. Let me speak softly to your heart. You need comfort right now. Let your tired shoulders relax for just a brief second. You have been running so fast for so long, but right here is your safe refuge from the violent storms of life. Come and sit in my presence while the world rages outside your room. I know your heart is incredibly tired. I see the anxiety you hide from the world. You look at your future, and you feel a strange restlessness in your chest. And every morning when you wake up, the heavy pressure is already sitting on your spirit before you can even open your eyes. You carry this load without a single word of complaint. I see how you fight your battles alone. You pretend you are perfectly fine for them. You wear a strong smile while quietly breaking inside. And I have watched you sit in the deep darkness of your quiet room wondering if anyone truly understands the pain that you are experiencing daily. You feel completely cut off from real support. I saw you when you cried softly into the darkness. You hoped the silence would swallow your tears before anyone noticed. You hide your exhaustion because you do not want to be a heavy burden to the people you love. You give all your remaining energy away to everyone around your life until you have nothing left. Now you feel completely empty inside. Your soul feels as though it is standing still. You are walking through a thick fog of deep uncertainty. You look at your life and you wonder why every single step forward feels so impossibly heavy. You feel like you arrived late to your own destiny while others pass you by. You have been fighting a long battle. The pressure is building up inside your thoughts. You ask yourself if things will ever change for you. And during the quiet hours of the night, you wonder if my promises have somehow expired because the answers you begged for seem delayed. You feel like time is running out. I know how purely you love other people. You pour your sincere heart into broken hands. You give your best and receive nothing in return. You have been deeply hurt by the very people you trusted completely with your secrets, and you have quietly asked me why your kindness is constantly met with cold disappointment. Your physical vessel is deeply tired. The exhaustion has settled into your bones. You feel a constant tightness that never quite lifts, and you have pushed through your fatigue for so long that you have completely forgotten what true rest and absolute peace feel like in your daily life. Your strength is fading away. I was there when you felt overwhelmed. I watched you wash your face with cold water. You did this just to face the harsh world again. You put on your heavy armor every single day without a single complaint. But I saw the silent cry of your spirit when you felt like you could not take another step forward. You are a silent survivor. You have survived storms that would break others. You carry the expectations of your entire family alone. And you constantly worry that if you falter or show any weakness, everything you built will suddenly crumble into pieces before your very eyes. You bear this giant pressure every day. Do you feel that sudden mix of emotions inside your chest right now? That is not random confusion. That is your spirit recognizing my voice. Your soul knows that this message was designed specifically for your life, because you can no longer carry this heavy load without my divine intervention. Your heart is ready. You feel completely isolated from the world. It seems like no one speaks your language. You sit in crowded rooms, but you feel alone. You wonder if you were misplaced in this difficult generation, because your heart longs for something much deeper than the temporary things of this earth. You desire a sacred connection. The intense pressure of tomorrow is suffocating you. You try to calculate every single outcome. You do this to protect your heart from failure. You worry constantly about your provisions and your future security, and the endless calculations of your mind are keeping you trapped in a cycle of constant fear. I counted every single tear you dropped. Not a single drop was lost or wasted by my holy house. I saw you press your face into your wet pillow. You did this so no one would hear your broken voice in the dark. I was closer to you in that painful moment than the very floor you were sitting on during your greatest despair. You have been the strong anchor for everyone around you. You are the one people call for quick help. You listen to their heavy problems and absorb their pain completely. But when your own soul is drowning in deep waters, no one looks your way or stops to ask if you are truly okay. You bleed in silence while healing them. You feel like you are under a heavy oppression. Every time you try to make progress, a new obstacle blocks your path. You feel targeted by invisible forces of darkness. You are weary of fighting secret battles that seem to have no real ending or resolution in sight for your aching spirit. You wander in a dry desert completely alone. I know the secret wounds you never speak about. I know the betrayals that broke your trust. You have chosen isolation to protect your peace. You have wrapped your heart in thick walls of caution because you want to prevent further deep disappointment from entering your life again. You feel safer in your fortress. Sometimes you just want to drop everything. You want to disappear from your duties. You feel entirely empty of strength and inspiration. You are tired of pretending to be the strong one when you feel so small and completely helpless inside your private thoughts. You wish for an escape from this path. You look around at other people today. They seem to achieve success so effortlessly. You wonder what you did wrong in my sight. You question your own calling and your own spiritual value. You feel like a random fragment of creation that has been entirely forgotten in the desert. You feel completely abandoned. You feel like you are under a tight cage. The walls are closing in on your mind. You try to pray, but the proper words will not come. You feel like your voice is bouncing off a ceiling of thick brass, and you wonder if the sky has turned to cold iron because your prayers seem to fall back to earth completely unanswered. People have judged you based on your appearance. They do not see the purity of your motives. They mistake your quiet nature for absolute weakness, and they have written you off because they do not know the magnificent plans that I have already authorized for your upcoming season. They do not see your light. You have spent nights staring at the ceiling. Your mind races with endless questions. You replay past mistakes over and over again. You blame yourself for doors that closed and relationships that failed, and the heavy guilt consumes your peace because you think you ruined your own destiny with your hands. But hear me with the deepest place of your heart. You are not forgotten. The long delay you have experienced is not rejection. There is a magnificent secret behind your current standstill, and I am about to reveal exactly why I had to hold you back from certain paths. Trust my timing right now. Let us step deeper into the quiet truth of your life. I want you to remember the exact moments when the world became too loud and your spirit felt completely crushed. You did not have anyone to turn to during those bitter hours, and the heavy darkness felt like a massive wall that was slowly closing in on your chest. I saw you when you sat on the cold floor of your bathroom. I watched you turn the faucet on completely so the sound of running water would drown your desperate cries. You did not want anyone in the house to know how deeply you were hurting inside. You pressed your shaking hands against your face until the weeping finally stopped. I saw you when you folded your physical body into the smallest possible shape on your bed. I watched you bury your face deep into your soft pillow to stifle the sound of your broken voice. You felt a sharp physical tightness in your chest that made it completely impossible to breathe normally. You endured that agony all alone. I saw you when you were driving alone in your car on a dark highway. The tears began to blur your vision completely as you stared at the empty road ahead of your life. You had to pull over to the side because the emotional pain became an actual physical weight on your heavy shoulders. You cried out my name in total desperation. Your weary shoulders have been carrying a giant load for many years. The muscles in your back are constantly tight from the stress of pretending to be strong for everyone. You feel an actual ache just behind your sternum that never truly lifts no matter how much you sleep. Your body is screaming for a real release from this trauma. I saw you when you laughed with your dear friends around a crowded table. You looked completely happy to them, but you quietly felt like the most isolated person in the entire room. Your spirit was mourning while your face was forced to wear a polite mask for their sake. I saw the profound loneliness in your tired eyes. I saw you when you stayed late at your office desk, just to escape the empty silence of your home. You stared at the computer screen with blurry eyes, while your mind raced with painful thoughts of unworthiness. You wondered if this exhausting routine was all that your future had to offer. You felt like a forgotten soul in a machine. You constantly ask yourself why you must encounter so many intense obstacles and extreme exhaustion. You are a pure person who always strives to live correctly and give love to others, yet your path is filled with constant friction and secret warfare. There is a deep spiritual reason for this constant battle that you are fighting in the dark. The enemy is not attacking your past, because your past can no longer be changed. The adversary is completely terrified of the magnificent destiny that is waiting for your future. You are targeted because your internal light is beginning to rise above the shadow. This fierce combat is actual proof that your life carries an immense purpose. But my beloved child, none of these painful moments were invisible to my eyes. I was standing right beside you when you felt completely abandoned by everyone you loved. I counted every single drop of your silent tears. Not a single fragment of your private sorrow was lost or disregarded by my holy house. I saw you when you walked alone in the cold rain just to hide your weeping from the world. You let the raindrops wash away the stains on your cheeks because you could not explain your pain to anyone else. You felt like a complete stranger on this earth, but I was walking right beside you in that storm. I saw you when you sat on your couch, staring at old messages from people who betrayed your trust. You read their cruel words over and over again, while your heart felt like it was breaking into pieces. You wondered what you did wrong to deserve such sudden abandonment. I wrapped my invisible arms around your trembling body. You have been the stable shelter for so many broken souls in your life. You absorb their heavy problems, and you give them your sincere comfort without asking for anything back. But when your own spirit is drowning in deep waters, no one notices your pain. You are left to heal your own wounds in the dark. I saw you when you looked at your own reflection in the mirror this morning. You noticed the dark circles under your eyes and the deep lines of exhaustion on your face. You barely recognized the joyful person you used to be before the trials began. You felt a wave of intense sadness wash over your entire being. I saw you when you dropped to your knees on your bedroom rug because your legs could no longer support the weight of your heavy grief. You could not form a proper prayer with your trembling lips. You could only whisper a single broken word into the empty air. I heard that unspoken cry of your spirit instantly and deeply. My presence does not always manifest as a loud thunder or a dramatic sign. Sometimes my love is the absolute silence that holds you together when you want to shatter completely. It is the steady breath in your lungs when you feel like giving up entirely. I am the invisible foundation beneath your feet. I saw you when you were cleaning your kitchen, while tears quietly dripped onto the counter. You kept your hands busy because you were terrified of what would happen if you stopped moving. You tried to force your mind to be completely blank, but the heavy sorrow was vibrating deep inside your physical chest. I saw you when you woke up suddenly at midnight with a racing heart and gasping for air. The intense panic gripped your mind before you were even fully awake. You sat up in the dark and looked around your empty room with total fear. I stood at the edge of your bed and whispered peace into your atmosphere. I do not require you to be perfectly strong or flawless before you come to me. I love you in your brokenness, and I cherish you in your complete weakness. A precious jewel covered in thick dust is still incredibly valuable to my house. I am scraping away the debris of your past to reveal your true beauty. I saw you when you sat in the back row of a quiet place, just wanting to hide away from the crowd. You did not want anyone to speak to you or ask about your personal life. You just wanted a single moment of absolute stillness away from the endless modern expectations. I sat right next to you on that wooden bench in the dark. I watched you when you tried to read my word, but your eyes were too heavy from fatigue. You fell asleep with the pages open on your lap because your body was completely spent. You felt guilty for not praying long enough during that night, but I stood over you and blessed your sleep with holy protection and peaceful dreams. Your tears have become a sacred text in my kingdom. I read the stories of your pain through the fluid that falls from your eyes. The world may call your weeping a sign of complete defeat or emotional vulnerability, but in my house, your tears are seen as the raw language of an authentic heart that refuses to become hardened by malice. Do not let the long delays convince you that I am deaf to your voice. I am the God who sees you in the hidden valleys of your isolation. I am the one who stitches your broken pieces together when the world thinks you are completely finished. I am currently working behind the scenes to transform your deep agony into a powerful testimony. You have carried these heavy bags of emotional trauma alone for far too long. Your physical vessel is running out of fuel, and your soul is desperate for real restoration. I did not design you to fight these cosmic battles with your own empty strength. I am commanding you to stop trying to control everything right now. Close your eyes in this very moment. Take a deep and slow breath into your lungs. Let your tight shoulders completely relax right now. Release the heavy pressure that you have been holding behind your sternum. Agree in the silence of your heart to let my divine presence take full control of your tomorrow. The waiting season that has exhausted your spirit is not a random accident of life. There is a specific person who has been orchestrating your trials behind the scenes. I'm about to reveal the exact identity of the one who caused your tears, and why their power over your destiny is completely over. Hear my voice with absolute clarity right now. You have arrived at the exact moment of your spiritual awakening. The person who tried to destroy your reputation was merely a pawn in a much grander design. I allowed their betrayal to happen because it was the only way to pull you away from an old foundation that was decaying. Your enemies thought they were burying your future in the dirt. They celebrated your sudden departure and assumed you would never recover from the blow. But they did not realize that I am the master gardener of your soul. They did not know that your painful burial was actually the planting of a magnificent new season. Let me reveal the deepest secret behind every single delay you experienced. You asked me why doors that looked absolutely perfect suddenly slammed shut in your face. You believed that I was punishing you or ignoring your passionate prayers. Today I declare that those closed doors were my absolute protection over your life. I delayed your steps because I saw the hidden traps ahead of your path. I knew that the rooms you were begging to enter would have completely destroyed your pure spirit. I kept you in the waiting room because the people inside those environments were not equipped to handle your holy light. You were shielded from destruction. Like this video right now as an authentic act of agreement between your heart and my word. Let this small action anchor your faith in this very moment. By doing this, you are telling the unseen realm that you choose trust over constant panic. You are signaling that you are ready to receive the grand blueprint of your future. Long ago, there was a young man whom I placed a magnificent dream inside. He was entirely faithful and his heart was completely pure. Yet I allowed his own brothers to throw him into a dark cistern. He did not understand the purpose of that painful betrayal. While he sat in the cold silence of that pit, he felt completely abandoned. He cried out in the darkness and wondered why his loyalty was rewarded with chains. But I was not absent from his suffering. I was secretly building beneath the surface a platform that no earthly kingdom could ever prepare him for. The pit he endured was not his final grave. It was his necessary preparation room for greatness. My beloved child, the deep pit you are sitting in right now carries the exact same purpose. Do not let the heavy darkness convince you that I have dropped your destiny. The stone that the builders rejected is about to become the chief cornerstone of a new structure. Your current isolation is the womb of your upcoming promotion. I placed my chosen leader in the vast wilderness for 40 years before I called his name from a burning bush. Think about that long duration of absolute silence. He spent 4 decades tending sheep in the hot desert while believing his great calling was dead. He watched others advance while he stood completely still. He thought his time had passed and that his mistakes had disqualified him forever. But I was not late. I was moving with absolute precision. The man who finally walked out of that desert was the only warrior capable of carrying a whole nation to freedom. The wilderness did not destroy him. It shaped his authority. You have felt like you are wandering aimlessly in your own private desert season. You see people around you achieving wealth and status so effortlessly, you feel like the years are slipping away from your hands without any real progress. But I am telling you today that your desert training is officially coming to an end. I am currently sharpening your spiritual discernment through this intense pressure. You are learning to depend entirely on my voice rather than human validation. This season of obscurity was designed to break your reliance on the applause of the crowd. I am preparing you to stand before rulers without trembling in fear. There was an innocent youth who was hunted like a common criminal through the mountains. The very king he had served with total loyalty became his fiercest enemy. He had to hide in dark caves and sleep on cold stones while fighting for his survival. He wept bitterly in the night and asked why justice was delayed. He refused to take revenge even when the life of his enemy was placed directly in his hands. He trusted my timing completely over his own desire for quick relief, and because of his ultimate restraint, I established a kingdom for him that could never be shaken by any human force. I recorded every single step of his fidelity. The unjust attacks you are experiencing from authority figures will not define your value. Your silence in the face of their malice is clear proof of your holy character. I am keeping a perfect record of every insult you have quietly absorbed. I will not allow the wrong hands to write the final chapter of your destiny. I want you to think about the ancient pathways of righteousness. The great saints of old did not achieve their crowns by living a life of continuous comfort and luxury. They were forged in the fires of heavy affliction and deep betrayal. Your modern suffering is not an anomaly. It is the timeless signature of my holy choosing over your family lineage. The world measures progress by physical speed and immediate accumulation. But my kingdom measures progress by the depth of your roots and the stability of your character. I allowed you to experience this prolonged season of complete immobility so your spiritual root system could go deep into my love. You are being anchored for a massive expansion. Every single trauma you endured was a hidden form of spiritual pruning. I had to cut away certain branches from your life because they were draining your vital energy. The relationships that withered away were preventing you from bearing the magnificent fruit of your true purpose. The loss was actually a divine rescue mission. You thought you were breaking into pieces under the intense heat of the furnace, but you were actually being reshaped into a weapon of mass deliverance. The enemy intended to use your suffering to make you bitter and cynical, but I am using this exact trial to make you incredibly soft toward the hurting and powerful against darkness. Pause right here and let this heavy truth settle deep into your aching soul. Look at my face and stop trying to figure out the future with your limited human logic. My ways are infinitely higher than your ways. My thoughts are vastly deeper than your thoughts. I am holding the master blueprint of your tomorrow safely. The legal decrees of your captivity are being ripped apart in the heavenly courts right now. The limitations that held your ancestors in chains will have zero authority over your life. You are the chosen vessel through whom the cycle of poverty and fear will be shattered permanently. A new lineage of freedom begins with your obedience. Get ready to step out of the shadows of your past mistakes. The accusations of the adversary have been completely canceled by my grace. You have spent too long mourning over spilled milk and closed doors. I am about to do something entirely new in your finances and in your home. The ground under your feet is shifting. I am allocating unexpected streams of provision that you did not even work for. Wise minds will be guided to assist you in your upcoming endeavors. The resources that were locked away by greedy hands are being unsealed at my supreme command. You will not have to beg or hustle like the world does to survive. Your eyes will soon behold the physical manifestation of the promises you carried in secret. Every night you spent weeping on your bedroom rug will be rewarded with a double portion of joy. The people who mocked your silent faith will watch in total wonder as I lift you above the trial. Your restoration will be undeniable. But before you can walk through this newly opened door, you must learn the ultimate secret of absolute surrender. There is one final barrier inside your mind that is blocking the full release of your blessing. Listen carefully to the next part. because I am about to show you exactly how to break that final chain. The secret restlessness you have been feeling inside your chest is finally ready to speak. That quiet stirring was never a symptom of anxiety or confusion. It was your human spirit sensing a massive acceleration in the spiritual realm. Your soul knew that a cosmic threshold was standing directly before your life. The long season of complete immobility is officially over right now. The tectonic plates of your destiny are moving under my supreme authority. I am shifting the alignment of relationships and opportunities to match your true value. The heavy fog that clouded your vision is dissipating before the bright morning light. The invisible adversary targeted your life because he saw your immense future brightness. He did not care about your ordinary days or your past mistakes. He was completely terrified of the spiritual authority that would be born from your prolonged suffering. But his desperate attempts to ruin your mind have failed completely. I stand in the heavenly courts today to deliver your absolute emancipation. I am breaking every single generational curse that held your family in financial lack. The invisible limitations that forced your parents to live in constant survival mode are being shattered right now. A new bloodline of immense abundance begins today. I strip the enemy of all legal rights to terrorize your thoughts. I speak directly to the spirit of fear that has locked you in anxiety for years. Leave this holy house immediately and never return to this sacred vessel. I declare that you are completely free from the haunting ghosts of your past failures. The chains of persistent delay are melting away under the heat of my presence. The iron gates that blocked your financial expansion are turning to liquid right now. You will no longer have to beg for crumbs from tables that were built with your own sacrifices. I am building a magnificent table specifically for your honor. Now that the great victory has been authorized, you must learn to rest. I want you to enter a space of complete surrender and holy tranquility. You have been fighting like a weary soldier for far too long with your own empty hands. I am commanding you to drop your heavy weapons at my feet right now. Breathe out the accumulated trauma of the past 10 years of your life. Let your tight shoulders drop completely as my peace flows into your atmosphere. You do not have to calculate the next 10 steps of your tomorrow. Stop trying to micromanage the universe with your limited human understanding and anxious logic. Surrender is not an act of cowardly defeat or spiritual weakness. It is the ultimate demonstration of your absolute confidence in my sovereignty. When you choose to let go of control, you allow my giant hands to arrange the pieces of your destiny. You are moving from a place of straining to a position of receiving. Receive my holy blessing over your physical body in this very moment. I am infusing your tired muscles with divine energy and supernatural vitality. The chronic fatigue that settled into your bones is being washed away by living waters. Your youth is being renewed like the wings of a magnificent mountain eagle. I want you to forget the painful memories of the doors that were locked tight against your progress. Those barriers were not placed by an angry creator to mock your limitations or slow your journey. They were strategic roadblocks designed to force your attention back to my face until your spirit was strong. Your current level of resilience is the direct result of the battles you fought in absolute secrecy. Every single time you chose to trust my word instead of your negative emotions, you grew a new layer of heavy spiritual muscle. You are no longer the fragile person who entered the desert season many years ago. The heavy weights that used to drag your mind down into deep depression are losing their grip entirely. I am severing the invisible strings of anxiety that kept your thoughts racing during the midnight hours. You will experience a supernatural lightness in your physical chest that you have never felt before. The divine inheritance that I have reserved for your future house cannot be stolen by any corporate thief or jealous relative. I have placed a holy seal over your provisions that will protect your abundance from any sudden economic collapse. You are entering a hidden zone of absolute safety and permanent prosperity. I pronounce a blessing over your financial accounts and your career path. You will experience a season of supernatural overflow that defies human economic statistics. Opportunities will pursue your name without any aggressive hustle from your hands. The wealth of the wicked is being transferred to your house. I am restoring the years that the locusts have eaten from your emotional life. I will surround your vulnerable heart with authentic people who celebrate your presence. The toxic parasites who drained your energy are being permanently blocked from your environment. You will experience the sweetness of genuine community. Be completely still and know that I am your ultimate protector. The accusations that were whispered against your name have been neutralized in my house. No weapon formed against your future prosperity will ever find traction. You are hidden safely within the secret pavilion of my supreme love and grace. The shadow of death has no power to intimidate your waking soul. I have walked through the deepest valleys beside your trembling steps. I have kept your feet from slipping on the dangerous rocks of despair. You can lay down your heavy head tonight with the absolute assurance that tomorrow is fully secure. Are you truly listening to the sound of my voice right now? Do not let the small distractions of the physical world steal this holy alignment from your spirit. This is a rare moment of cosmic intersection, designed exclusively for your restoration. Let my words sink into the deepest fibers of your being. I am opening the window of heaven to pour out an uncontainable favor. You will become a living fountain of blessing to everyone you encounter in your city. The wisdom of the ancient teachers will guide your business decisions and daily choices. You will no longer walk in the confusion of human philosophy. I am reaching back into the memories of your childhood to heal the old rejection. I see the exact moment when you felt abandoned by the people who should have guarded your heart. I am rewriting your internal narrative from a lonely orphan to a celebrated heir. You are a royal child of the Most High King. The thick walls of caution that you built to protect your heart are crumbling away. You do not need those defensive structures anymore because my presence is your ultimate shield. I am replacing your heart of cold stone with a soft heart of pure flesh. You will love deeply again without the fear of betrayal. A massive wave of inspiration is washing over your creative mind today. You will receive brilliant ideas that will solve complex problems for many people. The projects you abandoned because of extreme fatigue will find a new breath of life. Your name will be associated with integrity and excellence in your field. Even when the world enters a period of intense shaking and darkness, you will remain steady. Your house is built on the unshakable rock of my eternal promises. You will have more than enough provision to feed your family and support the needy. You are being positioned as a grand beacon of hope in a dark world. The legal documentation of your new inheritance has been signed in blood. There is no human authority or dark force that can reverse this decree. You have passed the test of the desert with your faith fully intact. Your heart is now perfectly aligned with the heartbeat of my eternal kingdom and purpose. The remaining fragments of your yesterday are being swept away by a holy wind. You are standing at the absolute precipice of a glorious manifestation. Lift your eyes and prepare your hands to receive the final activation keys. The next few moments will determine how quickly you step into this promised land. The heavy storm has passed from your horizon completely. Look at the gentle dawn that is breaking over your life right now. The dark shadows of uncertainty are retreating before the warmth of my eternal love. You are entering a sacred zone of absolute stillness and perfect mental clarity. Your long warfare is officially over. You are no longer the lonely orphan who must survive by straining in isolation. You are no longer required to shrink your majestic soul to fit into tiny rooms of human approval. I am raising you up today to become a magnificent beacon of unshakable peace for many nations. You have transitioned into your true royal identity. The chains of lack and systemic frustration are completely shattered behind your heels. You have stepped out of the painful role of a victim and entered the glorious place of divine stewardship. I am styling you into an official cycle breaker for your entire family tree. The limitations of yesterday will have zero power over your future. Breathe deeply into your spirit and receive this permanent shift. Let your mind stop racing with alternative scenarios and worldly solutions. My word is the ultimate anchor that will hold your life steady during any shifting tides. You are securely protected by the legal decrees of my heavenly kingdom. Your victory is total. You will walk into rooms that used to terrify your heart with complete confidence. The wisdom of my Holy Spirit will flow from your lips like a refreshing river of life. People will notice a rare gravity and a beautiful light radiating from your countenance. They will recognize that you have been sitting in the presence of the King. Every asset that was stolen from your storehouse will be returned with interest. The years of isolation were not a waste of your precious time on this earth. They were a strategic setup to separate your clean spirit from the corrupt patterns of this world. You are being launched into a spectacular season of rapid advancement. You were not saved simply to exist in comfort or hide your talents in secret rooms. You were chosen to carry real life and authentic hope to a dying generation. I am shaping your unique testimony into the exact miracle that others will behold with absolute wonder. Your suffering has given you an authority that cannot be counterfeited. We have established a permanent covenant of peace regarding your future tomorrow. The final step of this sacred gathering belongs entirely to your personal obedience. True faith is never a passive sentiment hidden inside your private thoughts. True faith is a visible movement of agreement that echoes into the physical universe. Look at this message as a holy instruction designed specifically for your restoration path. I have aligned everything required for your ultimate breakthrough. You must now anchor your active agreement to activate the flow of favor. Do not let the busy distractions of this world steal this rare alignment from your spirit today. If this message has brought pure light to your weary heart, you can choose to honor this divine alignment right now. You can show your authentic support through super thanks as a seed of genuine gratitude. This is not a forced obligation or a heavy transaction. It is a sweet offering of your voluntary thankfulness to my house. Your small seed will act as a physical marker of your spiritual compliance today. It proves to the unseen realm that you trust my divine provision over your bank account. You are anchoring your earthly resources to an eternal foundation that never fails. Your generosity will release a double portion of blessings into your home. Do not keep this fountain of hope locked away within your own life. Share this video immediately with 3 specific souls who are secretly crying out for validation in the dark. You are being positioned as the answers to their silent prayers today. Your simple act of sharing will carry my divine light into their deep valleys. When you share this message, you are fulfilling your grand destiny as a light bearer. You are actively tearing down the walls of isolation that the enemy built around their minds. You are extending my comforting arms to the weary warriors who are ready to give up entirely. Your obedience will multiply the peace within your own boundaries. Subscribe to this channel right now so you do not miss the daily navigation keys that I am preparing for your journey. Turn on the notification bell to stay connected to my continuous guidance every single morning. This is your safe station to disconnect from the constant noise of the world and charge your spiritual batteries. Write the word Amen under this video to anchor your absolute agreement with my decrees. Let your typed words stand as an everlasting monument of your complete surrender today. By recording your testimony, you are sealing the promises of wealth and health over your children. Your public declaration will silence the legal voice of the accuser. I am sealing this specific message over your mind with a protective blanket of peace. No toxic thought or memory of past rejection will be allowed to penetrate this shield. You can walk forward with a light heart because your tomorrow is fully managed by my hands. Go forth into your magnificent future with absolute confidence. The angels of my presence have been dispatched to guard the perimeters of your home. They will block any financial thief or emotional predator from disrupting your peaceful sanctuary. You will experience a deep rest tonight that you have not felt since your childhood days. Your mind is completely liberated from the cage of heavy worry. I have signed your emancipation papers with the highest authority in the universe. The old ledgers of your past mistakes have been burned into ashes completely. You are starting your new chapter with a clean slate and a fresh wind behind your back. Walk with your head held high because you are dearly loved by my holy house. The resources of the mountains and the wealth of the valleys are under my control. I will open doors of opportunity that no human expert can explain by regular logic. You will see your business efforts bloom with supernatural acceleration and incredible efficiency. Your financial security is permanently anchored to my abundant storehouse. Every tear you dropped on your bedroom rug has been transformed into a seed of joy. You will reap a harvest of happiness that will make your past suffering feel like a distant shadow. The people who doubted your calling will watch in total amazement as I lift you high. Your restoration will become a grand monument of my faithfulness. Keep your eyes fixed on my face as you step into the marketplace tomorrow. Do not absorb the negative statistics or the fearful conversations of the crowd. You operate under a superior economy that is governed by grace and infinite supply. Your steps are ordered with mathematical precision to bring you to your wealthy place. I am pouring a fresh oil of inspiration over your mind right now. You will receive creative strategies that will place you ahead of your competitors easily. The projects that were stalled by extreme fatigue will find a magnificent acceleration today. Your hands are blessed to create lasting value and true legacy for your lineage. The defensive walls of caution that you built to protect your broken heart are falling down. You do not need those isolated structures anymore because my love is your ultimate shield. I am healing the deep wounds of your past relationships with supreme tenderness. You will experience the sweetness of genuine loyalty once again. You are a holy vessel designed to contain my glory and manifest my power. Do not disqualify yourself based on your physical limitations or human weaknesses. My strength is made absolutely perfect in the middle of your total vulnerability. I am using your small life to display my giant majesty before the watching world. Go in absolute peace and carry my light to the ends of the earth. Remember every single promise that I have spoken over your future path today. I am with you always, even until the end of time itself. You are my precious masterpiece, and your best days are unfolding right now. Breathe deeply and rest in my victory.